I had no idea, but in 2010, he drew Lady Deadpool, and at the same time, I was cast in The Green Lantern with my now husband, who was not my husband then.
Okay.
The timeline...
Hey there, my sizzling gossip lovers. Madison here. Buckle up, babes, because I've got the kind of Hollywood dirt that'll make your group chat spontaneously combust. Ready? Marvel, yes, the studio that's basically on everyone's I want to work there bucket list, has slapped a lawsuit on none other than Ryan Reynolds. Crazy, right? The wisecracking Deadpool star, the comedic golden boy who single-handedly revived the merc with a mouth for the big screen? Yep, he's in the hot seat. But that's not all. The drama swirling around him also has a certain leading lady at the center, Ryan's famously glamorous wife, Blake Lively. Once upon a time, she was the fandom's sweetheart, practically twinned with Ryan's comedic charm. Now, she's suspected of some very shady behind-the-scenes moves that might have torpedoed the brand synergy Marvel guards with all the zeal of Fort Knox. Stay right where you are, honey. I'm about to spill all the details, every twist, every cryptic text message, every meltdown rumor. Just do one quick favor for your girl first. Slam that subscribe button because these celebrities keep giving us material and mama's got all the dirt. Now let's step into the swirl of accusations, alliances, and epic PR disasters. Because if you thought Deadpool was chaotic on screen, wait till you see what's going down off screen. So news broke that Marvel filed this jaw-dropping lawsuit against Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool star, comedic champion, and overall Hollywood darling. For months, a storm of rumors about behind-the-scenes friction had been making the rounds, but nobody believed it'd explode into something so official, so litigious, so in your face. Yet here we are, with Marvel effectively saying, we've had enough, time to lawyer up. Let's be clear, Marvel is hardly the type to sue their own. The company usually handles controversies with that hush-hush PR approach, having successfully navigated epic fiascos for over a decade. So if they're stepping into a courtroom, they must feel truly cornered. Now, how exactly did this meltdown get from typical Hollywood friction to an official see you in court moment? The short answer, it's partly about Ryan, partly about his wife, and wholly about Marvel's brand integrity. Strap in, darlings, because the backstory, it's a real doozy. To truly understand how the Ryan Reynolds lawsuit came about, we have to start with Blake Lively and her involvement in a new film adaptation under the direction and co-writing and starring role of Justin Baldoni. Initially, everything looked picture perfect. Justin's known for heartfelt, emotional storytelling, and Blake exudes that polished, bright aura on and off the screen. The press came in hot with those gleaming set photos, Blake in stylish outfits, Justin praising her in interviews. You'd swear it was the start of a beautiful partnership. Then came the whispers, like that soft hum of air conditioning you barely notice until it starts rattling. Folks on set said Blake might have been feeling overshadowed because Justin, well, was basically doing it all. Director, co-writer, lead actor, possibly even craft services for all we know. At first, the drama was just that. Rumors of slight friction. Hollywood sets are rarely all sunshine and daisies, so no one batted an eyelash. But then, things took a turn into darker territory. Blake accused Justin of masterminding negative press against her, painting her as difficult, demanding, and obsessed with top billing. The tabloids pounce on this story quicker than you can say Oscar buzz. And guess what? For a moment, the public was on Blake's side. Female leads do get hammered in Hollywood for the very things male leads get applauded for. A little real talk for you. People were like, here we go again, another male director pulling strings. But oh honey, did the script flip. Justin responded in the most 2020s way possible by dropping text messages like they were the final puzzle pieces in a murder mystery.
This morning I sent a text message to my best friend Jamie and the president of my company, Tara. And I told them that
these unfiltered receipts pointed to Blake as the one orchestrating leaks and twisting stories. Suddenly, it wasn't Justin who was the manipulator. It was possibly Miss Lively. In these messages, Blake apparently boasted about her network, throwing around references that suggested she could mobilize powerful allies if she didn't get her way. She even used the term dragons, which, let's be honest, is either the coolest or the scariest nickname for your personal hype squad. The subtext? She might have been leveraging her husband, Hollywood's beloved Ryan Reynolds, a man with major clout thanks to Marvel and Deadpool. At that point, fans had to ask, wait, how deep do these connections run? Could Ryan be roped into this mess behind the scenes? Because let's keep it real, Ryan is more than just another Marvel star. He is, or was, the face of Marvel's R-rated comedic property, the unstoppable force behind the Deadpool phenomenon. If Blake was indeed calling in favors from him or leaning on his brand power to shift press coverage, That has major implications for how they might handle bigger fish, like a whole Marvel franchise. By this point, Marvel couldn't ignore the swirling rumors any longer. The studio has an empire to protect, and Ryan is right at the heart of it. Deadpool might be the irreverent troublemaker in Marvel's lineup, but ironically, that trouble was always supposed to stay in the scripts, not bleed into real-life controversies. So, inside Marvel's HQ, higher-ups were side-eyeing all this tea. They started whispering about how the positivity and synergy they valued, especially with big stars, could be undone if even a shred of these manipulative tactics turned out to be true. If fans ever believed Ryan was orchestrating dirty PR moves while winking at them on social media, that comedic charm might instantly transform into something far more sinister. And Ryan's reaction? He stayed quiet as a mouse. Usually, the man can't resist a sassy tweet or self-deprecating Instagram joke. His silence spoke volumes, hinting that maybe, just maybe, there was fire beneath all this smoke. Before we dive deeper into this messy tea, smash that subscribe button because, baby, the drama I'm serving is sizzling, and you do not want to miss the next twist. In typical Hollywood style, the drama escalated quickly. More messages leaked, indicating that Ryan had possibly intervened on Blake's behalf, nudging the media, insisting on certain script changes, or hinting that negative coverage of Justin could ramp up if demands weren't met. Then came the bombshell. Blake's high-powered attorney walked out. Not only did the attorney withdraw from representation, but they also released a statement that put the blame directly at Blake's feet. Publicly. Now, if you know anything about Tinseltown, you'll understand how bizarre that is. Lawyers don't usually ditch their A-list clients while side-eyeing them in a press release. If they do, it suggests some major wrongdoing behind the scenes.
I wish Taylor, if I ever stop, she'd make good Deadpool. funny.
Are there cameos?
Suddenly, everyone was like, if Blake's own lawyer can't back her up, how bad are these text messages and phone records that we haven't even seen yet? And that question inevitably circled back to Ryan. Did he help orchestrate all this? Or was he just an innocent bystander? And if he was involved, how does that taint Marvel's trust in him? Behind closed doors, Marvel was apparently in crisis mode. Executives like Kevin Feige were rumored to be huddling in emergency meetings, trying to decide if continuing to partner with Ryan was worth the PR risk. After all, one reason fans adore Deadpool is the break the fourth wall humor. He's the comedic troublemaker, but comedic trouble is one thing, real life corporate sabotage is another. In the end, Marvel did something they almost never do. They went public with legal action against Ryan. The official statement was vague, referencing a breach of contract and reputational harm, but it was enough to send shockwaves through fandom. Wait. Marvel is seriously litigating the star who gave them that incredible R-rated box office smash? The man behind the Merc? Yes, indeed. And honey, that told us loud and clear that Marvel believed it had more than enough reason to break out the big guns. Now, let's talk about the fan reaction, which was nothing short of apocalyptic. Deadpool is a fandom darling. The idea that Ryan might be forced out.
Well, Hugh and I both at the get-go, we were like, we're going to do everything. We love the movie more than life itself. It's both of our favorite movies we've ever done. So we said, let's get it just as slutty as possible with the promo.
Recast or blacklisted by Marvel sent Twitter, Reddit, and every corner of the internet into meltdown mode. Some fans claimed Marvel was overreacting, like maybe they'd been itching to part ways with Deadpool's R-rated shtick. Others insisted that Marvel wouldn't sabotage its own gravy train unless it felt truly betrayed. So the debate raged. Was Ryan being scapegoated, or was the studio simply ensuring one rotten apple didn't spoil the entire cinematic universe? Remember, Marvel is used to dealing with sensational headlines, actors in spats, big pay negotiations, etc. But a full-blown lawsuit? That's next level. People realized the studio had to be extremely confident or extremely desperate, perhaps both, to take legal steps this drastic. Amid the chaos, Justin Baldoni continued finishing his film. He wasn't rubbing salt in anyone's wounds. Instead, whenever Blake or her team dropped a partial screenshot of a conversation, Justin calmly released the entire text thread for context. In interviews, he even sounded regretful, like he'd never wanted things to blow up so massively that multiple careers risked going down in flames. He described the fiasco as a cautionary tale of what happens when star power collides with hidden agendas. But let's be real, Justin's neutral stance has inadvertently become a major factor in Marvel's lawsuit. Because the texts he provided, uncut and apparently thorough, are part of the evidence that might show Ryan meddled in ways that violate Marvel's moral or professional conduct clauses. Speculation about the lawsuit's specifics ran rampant. Industry lawyers not affiliated with the case started making educated guesses. breach of contract. Maybe Ryan's contracts forbid him from engaging in any form of negative PR or press manipulation that could harm the Marvel brand. Defamation or extortion. If Ryan threatened Marvel with fan backlash or negative coverage to get creative control, Marvel might see that as extortion. Moral turpitude. Many contracts have catch-all clauses for unethical behavior that harms the franchise. Marvel's statement about protecting brand integrity was the big clue. Deadpool can be loud, crass, and comedic, but behind the scenes, the studio demands a certain level of professional respect. If Ryan crossed that line, it's no wonder they took action. What's our wisecracking merc with a mouth doing while the world is on fire? He's uncharacteristically silent. No sassy retorts. No, oh, did I just get sued by Marvel jokes? Nothing. Zip. Zilch. Rumor has it he's been meeting with legal teams day in and day out to assess whether they can settle this behind closed doors or if they'll need to fight it in court. Some say a public apology could help, but others fear it would only confirm wrongdoing, especially if Marvel's documents are more damning than we realize. The tension is thicker than a triple shot espresso, folks. Ryan's entire comedic brand is built on authenticity, or at least the appearance of it. If fans start suspecting that behind the friendly Twitter banter and jokes is a guy who bullies directors or manipulates coverage, that brand collapses faster than a poorly baked souffle. As you might guess, the public reaction to Blake took another nosedive.
Will we maybe see a Deadpool 4?
Oh God, no. My wife and children will divorce me, and
The kids will divorce you?
I have no prenup with any of them.
It seems likely that her behind-the-scenes power plays with Justin Baldoni led Marvel to investigate more deeply into Ryan's involvement, like unraveling a sweater, one thread at a time. Suddenly, we've got fans saying, Blake, you're basically the reason Ryan's in trouble, or she's the puppet master using his brand to punish her foes. Others think that's too simplistic, pointing out that Ryan is a grown man who can make his own decisions. Still, the once glowing aura around Blake is undeniably tarnished. Directors are rumored to be hesitant to cast her if these allegations prove true. Nobody wants a star on set who might wage PR war the moment things don't go their way. Meanwhile, the rest of the industry is freaking out about how this might blow back on them. Ryan's got endorsements for everything from gin to cell phone services, and those companies are probably drafting their "we do not condone such behavior" statements just in case.
To try and destroy Justin. There's a number of different defendants here. Stephanie Jones will be all over this complaint. That is the PR agent.
Future production deals featuring Ryan likely on pause. Nobody wants to pour millions into a project only to have their lead star entangled in depositions and court appearances. If the Marvel suit grows bigger or if trial details leak, imagine the meltdown. Hollywood insiders are now analyzing Marvel's approach. If they're bringing out the big legal guns, they might do it comprehensively. That means depositions from crew members, executives, and possibly even from people in Ryan's or Blake's personal orbit. If those depositions see the light of day, ooh, honey, the tabloids will be dining out for months. Don't forget, Deadpool was supposed to cameo in various Marvel crossovers, bridging the comedic R-rated style with the more PG-13 Avengers crowd. Now, those plans are rumored to be stalled. Some insiders say Marvel might retool the entire concept, maybe recast Deadpool or limit his involvement until they see how the lawsuit pans out. The Marvel cast, people we love like Chris Hemsworth, Brie Larson, Tom Holland, are all staying quiet. A few have privately expressed sadness that a colleague they respect, Ryan, is now at odds with the studio. Others are adopting a not my circus, not my monkey stance. But from a financial standpoint, recasting Ryan could be catastrophic for Marvel.
It's not going to be good.
Yeah, you review the budget, and you're like, what's miscellaneous? And you find out later, oh, that was cocaine. So like, oh, okay.
Deadpool is so intertwined with Ryan's persona that some say the character wouldn't survive the transition. Others argue fans will adapt if they must. Marvel has replaced big names before, looking at you, Terrence Howard to Don Cheadle, or Edward Norton to Mark Ruffalo. The difference? Deadpool and Ryan are a comedic synergy that fans adore. We all know Hollywood loves a secret settlement. The question is whether Marvel is beyond that. If the allegations are severe, like Ryan tried to strong-arm Marvel using his fan base, the studio might want a dramatic public stand to show that no star stands above the brand. But from Ryan's perspective, a settlement might be the best way to salvage his public image. If this drags on, we risk depositions, leaked documents, and more attorneys ditching their clients. Let's be real, the last thing Ryan wants is more scandal. So do they quietly settle and keep the allegations under wraps, or do they battle it out in court, risking a drama so big that even the Infinity Gauntlet can't snap it away? Honey, at this point, it's 50-50. While Team Ryan supporters claim he's being scapegoated, maybe Marvel is just done with Deadpool's edginess. Others are Team Marvel, saying that a brand as massive as Marvel wouldn't sue without serious evidence. Meanwhile, some fans float conspiracy theories. Like maybe the entire lawsuit is a publicity stunt for a bigger Deadpool marketing campaign. One thing's clear, the comedic vibes that once surrounded Ryan and Deadpool are overshadowed by uncertainty and suspicion. Are we witnessing the fall of a comedic titan? Or will this end in a grand comedic comeback where Ryan emerges, arms wide open, telling us it was all a misunderstanding?
Are there cameos?
There are surprises. I would say that the folks that do show up in the movie that somehow, I have no idea how we've managed to keep it secret, given the internet.
Now, let's circle back to the man who inadvertently set these dominoes toppling, Justin Baldoni. He's finishing his heartfelt adaptation, apparently unscathed, except for the massive media attention he never asked for. People might watch this film out of pure curiosity now, like, is this the movie that triggered the meltdown between Blake Lively and Marvel's Golden Boy? Ultimately, Justin's stance remains calm. He's simply releasing the full text messages. Whenever the partial ones show him in a misleading light, insiders speculate he could see a bump in his directorial profile. After all, we're talking about it, right? That's free publicity. Although I'm sure he would have preferred a drama-free path to the spotlight. If Marvel pursues this litigation seriously, expect them to subpoena every relevant phone log, email thread, Slack conversation, maybe even voice memos from Ryan and Blake. The text messages from Justin have already painted a questionable picture, so imagine if Marvel's big legal team rummages through every corner of Ryan's communications. Could they find proof that Ryan threatened negative coverage if Marvel didn't meet certain demands? Or that Blake leveraged Ryan's behind-the-scenes connections? If so, that's game over for Ryan's squeaky clean comedic persona. Then again, if Marvel's accusations don't hold water, Ryan could walk away with a stronger position. The studio would have to backtrack or settle, letting him keep the Deadpool suit. In that scenario, the fiasco might fade away with a well-crafted press release about creative differences resolved over dinner. Let's talk big picture. Marvel orchestrates every character's storyline years in advance, weaving cameo arcs like a spider's web. Deadpool was expected to cameo in various future films. Imagine the comedic potential if he crashed into the Avengers. But if Marvel is now rethinking that, it changes the entire dynamic of the MCU. Could we see Deadpool quietly retired? Fans would riot. Could we see him recast? Fans might riot harder. Or maybe Marvel tries to salvage the relationship with Ryan, forging an agreement that places tighter control over his brand interactions.
So, no, wow. What was crazy about this one was it was the best filming experience I've ever had. You know, working with basically, Q and I, what you see is what you get, genuinely.
Either way, the stress on their creative planning is intense. As for Blake, the blowback has been swift. She was once the golden girl, red carpet darling, known for comedic banter with Ryan, motherhood goals, etc. Now, with her ex-lawyer basically calling her out, fans and industry folks are side-eyeing every move. If the Marvel lawsuit reveals she was a driving force behind any underhanded tactics, she could struggle to land new roles. Directors hate drama overshadowing their films, and producers hate star-level conflict that might explode into tabloid wars. But Hollywood also loves a comeback story. If Blake issues a heartfelt apology, or if the lawsuit's details prove that she was just caught in the crossfire, she might bounce back in due time. Meanwhile, fans are left to speculate, could we see Ryan's comedic persona hammered beyond repair? Will Deadpool's next cinematic outing be overshadowed by real-life drama? Or will we see a triumphant return with new jokes about Marvel's lawsuit worked into the script? Deadpool is known for meta humor after all. It's giving major will they or won't they vibes, but we're talking about an actor in a studio, not star-crossed lovers. If a resolution doesn't come soon, this crisis might overshadow the entire slate of Marvel's upcoming releases. The brand thrives on hype and positivity, not scandal. Another quick CTA, babes. Bessie, let me tell you something.
I mean, look, most of the time when the movie is this much fun to make, you out bad.
If you think this tea is hot, hit that subscribe button right now because, baby, we're just warming up. And you know I don't play with my sources. One big takeaway is that even a top-tier Marvel star, someone who played a pivotal role in reviving a beloved franchise, can be cut down if the studio perceives them as a threat. This is a loud, flashing caution sign for every other actor or creative who thinks a mountain of social media fans makes them untouchable. This fiasco also underscores how precarious it is when personal relationships merge with brand negotiations. If Blake's push against Justin Baldoni truly set off a chain reaction that exposed questionable tactics in Ryan's dealings with Marvel, that's the textbook definition of an unintended consequence. Hollywood watchers are practically munching on popcorn, waiting to see if more big names weigh in. Could other Marvel stars step up and defend or condemn Ryan? Probably not. Nobody wants to anger the studio that signs their paychecks, or get entangled in a lawsuit that's about as fun as a root canal. Marvel's statement mentioned newly obtained material that pointed to a breach of contract and reputational harm. The details of that material remain locked away from the public for now, but you'd better believe the tabloids are banging on every back door to find out exactly what's in those sealed documents.
Used his power and influence to not only help Blake Lively take over this movie, but, he's used it, on Deadpool to make.
Is it a series of emails where Ryan explicitly threatens Marvel's executives with negative press if they don't give him more creative control? Maybe a phone call transcript that proves he leveraged Blake's power plays to shift headlines away from her feud with Justin? Or something even more bombshell-y we can't even imagine? If those documents ever see the light of day, strap in for a potential meltdown that could dwarf any actual Marvel movie. So how do we think this ends? Public apology, Ryan issues a tearful "I messed up" statement. Marvel reduces the lawsuit to a private dispute, and everyone tries to patch things up for the sake of the box office. Quiet settlement. Ryan and Marvel settle out of court. No one admits fault, but we read between the lines that Ryan had to pay or accept certain conditions. Maybe reduce creative input or a stricter moral clause in his contract. Full-blown court case. Brace yourselves for depositions, evidence, cross-examinations, and headlines that read like tabloid fan fiction. The entire MCU would shake if Marvel goes all the way, because who knows what skeletons might come tumbling out of that closet. Which path do you think they'll take, babe? Let me know in the comments, because your guess is as good as any Hollywood insiders right now. We can't ignore the big question. If Ryan's found at fault, does Deadpool get recast or mothballed? The character has become as iconic as any Avenger, largely thanks to Ryan's comedic timing and unwavering commitment. Losing him would be a massive blow, but Marvel's brand is bigger than any one star. They replaced the Hulk once upon a time. They replaced War Machine. They parted ways with directors who couldn't meet their brand standards. So it's not impossible. But recasting Deadpool is trickier since the character is essentially an R-rated version of Ryan's own personality. Still, if the trust is shattered, Marvel might do the unthinkable and push forward with a new actor. The memes would be savage, the fan tears would flow, but the machine would keep churning. For those in power, the biggest scare is the idea that off-screen melodrama can overshadow entire projects, tarnishing the reputations of studios and creative teams. Justin Baldoni's film might ironically benefit from the added curiosity, but let's not forget that the next director who considers hiring Blake or Ryan might be wary. You never want your production overshadowed by a scandal that upstages the actual film. A tense set can balloon into a fiasco if star couples or star individuals start pulling strings in the media. That's a lesson Tinseltown is relearning in real time. Hollywood is all about big personalities, but it's also about brand safety. If a star shows any sign of turning into a liability, studios will protect themselves. That's precisely why Marvel has chosen legal action. It's brand preservation 101. The rumor mill says that Ryan might release a statement soon, perhaps test the waters with a comedic lawsuit joke. But if Marvel's truly fed up, a comedic approach could read as tone deaf. The stakes are high. The comedic wink might not land when you're battling your biggest employer in a legal arena. Another angle is a carefully worded, heartfelt statement. I love Marvel, I cherish Deadpool, and I regret any misunderstandings. Yet, if Marvel's mind is made up and they want a cautionary example, that apology might fall on deaf ears. Which approach do you see him taking? Maybe a strategic PR pivot to separate himself from Blake's alleged wrongdoing? Then again, that could spark a rumor that they're having marital issues. It's a no-win scenario. There's a risk in every direction. Fans are torn between wanting to give Ryan the benefit of the doubt and trusting Marvel's proven track record. Many are pointing out that Marvel has a near flawless system for handling huge stars. If they're resorting to a lawsuit, they must feel a serious boundary was crossed. Blake, on the other hand, is losing her defenders by the minute. That lawyer's public walkout was the tipping point for many. People are like, if someone who gets paid big bucks to defend you won't do it, something's rotten. And the real heartbreak, a lot of fans adored the playful banter between Ryan and Blake online. Now, even that comedic interplay seems suspicious. Like, was it all part of an orchestrated brand strategy? Folks are rethinking everything they believed about that too good to be true couple.
Oblivion, Megan. Wait till you see this lawsuit. It's all going to be based on evidence. It's not going to be just a lawsuit. It's going to be the kind of lawsuit.
This entire scandal highlights a harsh reality. In mega franchises, trust is everything. If one star's off-screen antics threaten that trust, even a billion-dollar brand like Marvel can be forced to take extreme measures. No matter how charming, how lucrative, how popular a star may be, the studio's bigger than any one face. And if the allegations hold water, if Ryan truly leveraged fan power or engaged in shady PR deals, it sets a new standard for how far studios will go to protect themselves. What if we see depositions from big Marvel producers or even other Marvel actors who might have heard rumors? That's the nuclear scenario. The entire industry is bracing for that possibility. If more damaging texts or insider accounts come to light, it could tarnish not only Ryan, but also Blake and maybe even some unsuspecting Marvel execs who tried to keep the peace. It's a messy web, babe, and each new thread that unravels could make the final meltdown bigger, flashier, and more shocking, just like a climactic finale in a Marvel flick. So where does that leave us? Right in the thick of the biggest Marvel Visa actor face-off we've seen since, well, ever. Ryan Reynolds, comedic icon and Deadpool mastermind, is at odds with the studio that catapulted him into a new level of fame. Blake Lively, once hailed as the comedic counterpart to Ryan's wise guy persona, now stands under a cloud of suspicion that her behind-the-scenes maneuvers triggered this catastrophic chain of events. Could it end amicably? Possibly. Hollywood has a habit of burying the hatchet when money's on the line. Could it end in a scorched earth legal battle? Also possible. Marvel might decide setting an example is worth more than the revenue from a single star's franchise. As for Justin Baldoni, he's basically the unsuspecting bystander in a war zone. He only pulled out receipts to protect himself, not imagining it might unravel a massive studio's relationship with one of its prize stars. Life comes at you fast in La La Land. In a broader sense, this is a cautionary tale for every star couple, every big franchise, and every studio betting the farm on a single name. Don't underestimate how quickly an off-screen feud can mushroom into a brand-threatening fiasco, and in a realm governed by sky-high budgets and worldwide fan bases, even the smallest cracks can trigger an earthquake. Before I sign off, let me hit you with the last CTA. Real quick, babes. Smash that subscribe because the tea I'm about to spill next is hotter than Washington Heights in August, and you know I'm not playing. That's the full scoop for now. With the lawsuit underway, you can bet we'll see more revelations, more text messages, and more spin in the weeks or months to come. Stay close, honey, because you know I'll be here to serve up every piping hot detail the second it drops. Until next time, stay messy, stay blessed, and remember, not even Marvel's Merc with the Mouth is safe from a real-life Hollywood meltdown. Cheers, babes.